Hello beautiful people, you're welcome to my channel. I am Vivian and today I want to make a corset top. Okay, so in our previous tutorial I showed how to draft the corset pattern. So for those that have been following me, they'll be familiar with this. Okay, but if this is your first time, you're very much welcome. Okay, if this is your first time of visiting this channel, I say a very big welcome to you and welcome back all my subscribers. God bless you all for visiting this channel and for coming back. So like I said in my previous tutorial, I showed how to draft the corset pattern. So I showed two methods: how to draft this type of cup and how to draft this type of cup. So with this you have something like this. Okay, so sometimes we see the corsets having this shape of cup. Why? Some other time we'll see the three parts cup. Okay, so whichever one you want to use, the back remains the same. So this is the back pattern. So I want to transfer the pattern to fabric and I'll be using one of this for today. So let me go with this very one, while in another tutorial I'll make a corset blouse also with this one. Okay, so we'll be using this today. So in case you haven't watched the video on how I drafted this, I'll be leaving the link in the description box below, so you check it out, okay, and know how we did this or how we came about this. Okay, so thank you so much for coming, and if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, I encourage you to hit on the subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell, okay, so that you will not miss out on any of my upcoming videos. I upload videos on sewing tutorials, fashion tips, fashion business tips, and a lot, okay, DIYs on this channel, and I believe you will not want to miss out. So just hit on the subscribe button. It's absolutely free. It's just to make you a part of this wonderful family, okay, so that you will not be a newcomer. The next time you come here, you'll be part of the family, and whatsoever is going on this channel, you would be notified. Okay, so thank you so much. Now we'll proceed into transferring this on our fabric and sewing it. Okay, so make sure you watch to the end to see the final outcome. So like I said, I'll be going with this pattern today, so this will be placed aside for now. We'll be using it in our subsequent tutorials. Okay, so to this one, what I'll do is to place my fabric. So I have my fabric here. This is wadding. So this is a medium weight wadding to, okay, stiffen the cup, the corset cup. Then this is the fabric I'll be using. It's satin fabric, just a leftover fabric from a project I made. So this is satin, and I have the lining fabric here. Okay, so this is what I'll be using as the lining fabric. So would proceed. So what I'll do right now is to place my fabric on fold. Then I'll cut out the center piece. Okay, so this is the center piece. I would fold my fabric, then I'll cut it out, but not exactly the way it is. I would add ½ inch all round, and the essence of the ½ inch all round is, okay, to enable us join it, and also, you know, the allowance we need for joining the lining, that is turning in with the lining, the allowance we need for joining the cup. Then, okay, at this part too, we need allowance for joining the darts. So that is what we'll be doing. So just place my fabric on fold. Okay, then I would just add ½ inch all round. So just, I'll add ½ inch at the top here, I'll add ½ inch round here, I'll add ½ inch here. Then at this part, this is the lower part, so I'll also add ½ inch for hemming, okay, or turning with the lining. So what I usually do to keep my pattern in place is to hold it down with paper tape. So I'll hold this one down with paper tape. So I'll just place the pattern and I'll hold it down with my paper tape so that it doesn't move around. Okay. So this is just to hold it in place, okay, because I don't want it moving around when I am adding my 1/2 inch all around it. So I hope you can see this. Okay, so I've just held it down. So what I'll do now is just to measure 1/2 inch all around it. And what I'll do is just measure 1/2 inch on this side. Okay, I'll just mark 1/2 inch. So I have my 1/2 inch on this side. Then from here too, I would extend it 1/2 inch. Okay, so I'll just try to make my chalk as thick as possible so that you will see it. So what I'm doing is just adding 1/2 inch. So by the time I cut it out, you would see what I have there. Okay, you see the difference. So just adding 1/2 inch round. Then at this side too, I'll add 1/2 inch. Also at this lower part, I'll also add 1/2 inch. That is for the hemming or joining with the lining. So I'll just use my ruler to connect it smoothly. So this is it at this point. Then at this point, just connect everything. So I want to be sure I have 1/2 inch there. So it's a little bit out. I don't want it to be more than 1/2 inch. Okay, and I'll connect this one. So I don't know if you can see this, but okay, I've marked 1/2 inch all round like so. So I'll cut it out. Then I also do same for this other one. So for this side piece, we'll have 2 pieces of it. The center piece is 1 piece. Okay, so you place on fold and you cut. Then while this one, you still place on fold, but we'll have 2 pieces of it. So now let me cut it, then cut this one out, and you see what we'll have. Okay, so you can see what we have here. Okay, so this is the center piece. Let me just open it up. I have my fabric frame here, so just trim it out. So this is my center piece. Okay, so you can see this. So now I would still fold my fabric and cut out the side. So this is my side piece. Okay, remember it is like this. So now this is my side piece. Remember, this is how we have it. Okay, so I would also add 1/2 inch at this side. I'll add 1/2 inch all around. I'll add 1/2 inch at the top, 1/2 inch at this side, while at this other side I'll add 1 inch. So the 1 inch is the seam allowance. So I didn't add any allowance while I was drafting the pattern. So I'll add 1 inch seam allowance at this side, okay, for joining the front and the back. So that is what I'll do. So right now, I'll still go ahead and hold my pattern down with paper tape. What I'll do is just to mark 1/2 inch from here, then place it like so. Okay, please, sorry about the background noise. I have a lot of noise going on in the background. Please bear with me. So I'll just hold it down. So I have my 1/2 inch here already. So this is it. I have it here. So remember I said it will have 2 pieces of it. So what I'll do is to open it up here. Okay, just cut it open at this center here, and I have it. So now I'll just carefully remove my paper tape. Okay, and then remove my pattern. So I'm just using satin for this top. You can use any fabric of your choice. You can use African prints or any fabric of your choice, and you can extend this to any length you want. Okay, I decided to make this to the waist. Okay, so you can decide to make it up to the hip, but don't forget to add your hip circumference. Okay, so that is it. So I have my side piece here. So this is how it will be. Let me open it up so that you see. So this is the center piece here, and we'll have the 2 side piece. So you can see what I have here now. Okay, then our cup will come in here. So now, after having cut out these 2, I'll place them aside. Then I'll also cut out the cup. Okay, just the way I have them here, that is how I would cut them on the fabric also. So now we'll place these ones aside and we'll cut the cups. Okay, so still placing my fabric on fold, I'll cut each of these, okay, so that I can have for the 2 sides. So that is why I'll place my fabric on fold, so that as I cut out one, it will be for the 2 sides. Okay, and I would also add allowance all round. I'll add 1/2 inch all round it. Okay, so as usual I would hold it down with my paper tape. So it's very necessary just to hold it in place, because I don't want it moving around while I am cutting, or while I am adding the 1/2 inch. So this is just to hold it in place. So I'll go ahead, mark my 1/2 inch all round. Okay, you can start from any part, just add 1/2 inch all around it and I'll cut it out. So that is what I'll do, and I'll do same for each of these. Okay, I'll add 1/2 inch all around it, then I'll cut it out. So you see that. So I have cut out the cups, so you can see the 1/2 inch all around it. Okay, so I also cut out the lining piece too, using the main fabric. Okay, so exactly the way the main fabric is, that is how I cut out the lining piece. And this is the back panel. So you can see what I have here. I added 1/2 inch at the top, 1/2 inch at the bottom, then my 1 inch seam allowance here. Okay, at the zipper area I didn't add anything. This is just how it will be, because we have our zipper allowance there already. So what I did is just add my 1 inch seam, allowance at this part, because I didn't add it when I was drafting the pattern. Okay, so I have added for the dart when I was drafting the pattern. So all I needed to do is just to add this 1/2 inch here for hemming or turning with the lining, same at the top here. So this is just how the back will be. Okay, and I also cut out the lining piece for it just the same way. So for this one now, you have to take note, like here being the midpoint of this one, or where we are to join, I have notched it. Okay, so I notched this part to help me. By the time I join these two, I'll know that this is where this one should come in. Okay, so now I also cut out wording for each of them. Okay, because I'll be using wording just like the way we use wording on our bustier blouses. Okay, so that's how I cut out wording for this. So I'll just remove everything. And one other thing is this: you can also make use of your office pin. Okay, if you don't have paper tape, you can use your office pin to hold everything down. So you have to be careful here. That's why I'm just separating it, carefully like this. So you have to know which part is which part. Like we have the 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so the 2 is by the center front. That is where number 2 would be. So from the shape, the smaller one is number 2. So now I'll just separate everything because I have the 2 cups here. Okay, so let me just separate everything and show you how it will be. So we have this for this. Okay, this is the right side facing, that is the right side of the fabric. So this other one now would go this way. If you have to turn it for it to be at the right side, so we have to take it this way. It has to go like this. Okay, so I hope you can see what we have here. So what it means is that this one is on this side and this one is on this side, because number 2 is the one that should be at the middle. Okay, so this is what I mean. Let me arrange the main fabric, the other parts, so that you can see what I mean. Okay, so you can see this. So I hope you're seeing what I have here. So now you have to arrange it in the way it should be, so that you don't get confused. When you're joining it. So this is how this side should be, while this other one would come like this. Okay, so I hope you can see the arrangement now. So you bear that in mind, that number 2 is the one that is close to the midpoint. So number 3 is close to the side panel, and this upper one, you see where I notched, that is where would come, where you will join at this midpoint. Okay, so this is it. So having arranged it like this, you pick it up and join it. So you also arrange the wording. Okay, so the wording too should be arranged, so it should be at the back side. The wording should be at the back. So you make sure you arrange it the way it should be. Okay, I'll trim it out. So I will have to trim it. So I have it like this and like this. Okay, so this is how it will be. So the wording should come under it. And for this one, you have it like this. And this one like this. So I just hope this is clear. So having arranged this like this now, it will be easy for you to pick it up and sew. So this is how you will sew it. I'll use my pin to hold it. So I'll hold it down with pin to show you how you would sew it. Okay, so just the way I'll be holding it down with my pin, that is how you go ahead and sew. So you just bring 2 and 3 together. You just place them together like so. Okay, and you sew. So you're going to sew it down this way. So just the way I'm holding it down with pin, that is how you will just sew it by 1/2 inch. Remember the 1/2 inch we added round. You have to sew it by 1/2 inch so that you will get the actual cup size after sewing by 1/2 inch. Okay, so haven't held it down here with pin. This is what I have. Okay, so this is just holding down with pin. Remember, I have not sewn it. So by the time you have sewn it here by 1/2 inch, remember you have to sew it by 1/2 inch. Okay, so by the time you sew by 1/2 inch, you then join the other part, that is the number 1. So I'm just showing you, this is how you sew it. So I don't need to show the sewing part, okay, so that the video will not be too long. Okay, so you just sew. You can see what I have here. So by the time you have sewn there, this is what you should have. You can just trim out any excess wording. So now you bring the number 1, this one. At this point where you notched, or where I notched, that is where I'll join here. Okay, I hope you can see this. So just turn it over like this and you join. So I'll also pin it down for you to see what I have there. So the same thing I'm doing at this main fabric, that is what I'll do to the lining piece, okay, but the lining piece will not have the wording is on the main fabric, so the lining is to now cover it up by the time I'm done sewing the main fabric. Okay, so you can see what I have here. Just make sure you join everything together, okay, and you sew by 1/2 inch. So just holding it down with my pin so that you can see exactly what you are to do when to sew it. So the way I'm holding it down with pin, that is how it will be sewn. So you just match it up. Just match it up and you sew. So you also come to this side, you match it up. Okay, you just match it up and you sew. So you see why you need to measure when adding the 1/2 inch. You need to measure it so that everything would align. Okay, and like I said, the essence of the 1/2 inch is to help you join. All this part will be joining together. Is because that is why the essence of the 1/2 inch is for all this joining. You can see if you don't add the 1/2 inch, by the time you join, your cup will become smaller. Okay, it will become small. It will no longer accommodate the bust. So by the time you add the 1/2 inch all round, and you sew it up, you have your actual bust cup size. Okay, so that is just it. So by the time you sew it, this is what you have. Okay, so you can see how it looks. This is just pin. I've not sewn it. Okay, you can see this. So by the time I sew it, we'll have a nice cup inside. So this is just how you sew it, and by the time you sew it, it will then come in here. So don't forget that I said this number 2, which is a smaller one, would be the side that would be on this center front. So by the time I have sewn it, everything will just relax well. You just trim out any excess wording, then you will just join it to the main fabric. Okay, so I'll go ahead and just do everything the way I have explained it to you, and you would see it. Okay, I would also do same for the lining, and you'll see what we'll have there. So for the back too, for the back, I've notched the part that is my zipper area. So let me just remove it so that you see. So why it is necessary for you to notch is so that you know the part that you have. So I also notch the top to indicate that this is the top. I notch the zipper side to indicate that this is the zipper side. So what I'll do now is to open it up like this so that you see what we have there. So by the time you open it, this is the zipper area. This other one, like I said, you have to indicate so you know that this is the top, so that you don't end up placing the wrong sides. Okay, so I have it like this and like this. Okay, so this is it. So you can see how the back panel, what it looks like. So at the back we'll have it in form of V coming down like that. Okay, so I just decide to show you this. Okay, then by the time you're done with the back, you join it to the front. You can see what we have there. So you can see everything will just relax well. Okay, so that is it. So you can see the side of the front, it will just go like so. You join the back and it will just go. So I will join everything. By the time I join it, it will become clearer to you. So this is one side of the back. So this side will be joined together like so. So I'll hold it with my pin, and this other side will be joined together like so. Okay, then I'll fix my zipper at this point. Okay, so I hope this is clear. So now I'll just place this aside and go ahead and sew my cup, and you will just see what we have there. Okay, so I'll go ahead now and do everything and you see. Okay, so I've sewn my cup. You can see what I have here, and this is the inside. So I trimmed the wording a little bit at this top, so that by the time I join my lining, it won't get in the way. Okay, so you have to trim it by the 1/2 inch, which you'll be joining the main fabric and the lining. So I still need to reduce this side a little bit. So this is how I just trimmed it. Okay, so this is how I trimmed it, so that by the time I join it to the lining, it won't have any problem at the top. You know, this is the neckline. Okay, so the wording is not supposed to be there. So this is how I did it. And after doing sewing it, after sewing the cup, I then use my ironing board, place the cup on it, then iron it. So you just do that to give it some nice look. Okay, so just smoothing it out. This is what I did. Just use my pressing iron to smoothen it out. So I did the same to this other one. Okay, so don't mind my fabric. This is just a casual, so this is just what I did. Okay, so don't mind my fabric. This is just a casual corset I'm making just to show you. Okay, just a tutorial. So I've also joined this one. Okay, so what I did is to press it down. So you have to open it up and press it down so it can lie flat. So before joining it, I just want to show you this. You can see the arrangement I have here. Okay, so that is how you should arrange it. Cup 2 will be facing the center front. Okay, like so. So you should watch your pattern when joining so that you know, so I don't end up placing it the wrong way. Okay, so I don't place it the wrong way. This is how it should go. So by seeing it, you know that cup 2 is the smaller one and it's at the center front. So you fix it like that on your corset. So there's one more thing I want to show you before joining. You can decide to embellish your corset. Okay, and whatever you'll be using, you can do that either before joining or after joining, depending on what you are making use of. So if you want to add boning, you know, boning gives your corset structure. So you will use whatever it is you want to use. It could be a bias or trims or whatever. Okay, so if you're using bias and you want to use boning, you first of all sew your bias. So you place your bias, you sew on this side and you sew on the other side. Then by the time you have finished sewing all the parts you want the bias to be, then your boning can go in. Okay, we'll have different types of boning, whichever one you prefer. We'll have the one that your sewing machine can sew on, like this one. You can sew on it. So when you're using the boning that you can't sew on, you have to finish sewing your corset. Then the space that is left under here, you fix your boning into it and you cut out. So that is one thing. Then like I said, you can use whatever you like. You can decide to use your bias tape to just embellish it. Okay, to give it that corset look. So just have it something, you know, having it like this just to give it that corset look. Then you can also place on this side. Okay, and you are good to go. So in case you be placing anything like this on it, so it is advisable to first of all sew it before joining the cup. Okay, so you also sew this one before fixing the lining. But I'll be using sequins. Okay, so this is what I'll be using. So I would finish sewing the corset, then I would use gum to fix my sequin, because I don't want to sew on it. And and this is just a casual costume, okay? It's not really meant to be worn out, so I'm just doing this for the sake of the tutorial, just to show you, okay? So by the time I'm done, I'll just fix this. It can also be fixed even before sewing, okay, because you can sew on this. So you have to make sure you've ironed this side down. You place your trims or whatever you want to use. You have different, there are a lot of things you can use, trims like this you can just use to embellish your corset to give it that beautiful look. So like I said, this one is just a casual corset. I'm not wearing it out, so I'll just use my sequins to just embellish it, okay? So I'm just showing you what you can do on your corset just to make it look beautiful, okay? So you can just, whatever you like, you can do to it, okay? Whatever you like. So I can go ahead and sew this, and I can also just use gum to apply it when I'm done, okay? So whichever one is okay, but I'm using gum since it is sequin. I don't want by the time I stitch it, it will be having some problems there. It is not as soft as bias tape, okay? So if I'm to use bias tape, I'll just sew everything there. So I'll go ahead now and sew in the cup to the main part, and I've also sewn the lining piece, okay? So I just use this part for the cup because the lining piece is not enough, and it's still okay for me, so that it will just help it at that part. So this is the lining piece. I've sewn it, and this is what I have inside, okay? So by the time I'm done stitching this, I would also sew the back. So by the time I join the back, I would finish everything, okay? I will just complete the main fabric, fixing the zipper and everything. Then we'll use the lining fabric to turn it to have a neat finishing inside. So I'll just show you everything step by step, okay? So right now, let me just join the cup. So to join it, this is how you go about it. So I will use pin to hold it so that you will see. So just this center part, this 2 points would meet, okay? So you just turn it this way. Make sure you also open up, make sure you notch your seam here, okay? Make sure you notch on it and you iron. So you open it up like so, okay? Then you join it to this point, making sure both points are joined together, okay? So you pin it there. Now you just gradually pin the cup to the main parts, okay? So this is how you would sew it, and you sew by 1/2 inch. So just gradually pin it down like so. So you also make sure you open up this side, okay? So you open up the seam. So you just join it until you have it all joined there, okay? So by the time you're done with this side, you move to the other side. So you just pin it, okay? So by the time you have pinned it down, you just go ahead and stitch. So this is what you will do. Just first of all, hold it down with pin, arrange it very well, making sure that this seams are meeting. Okay, then you go ahead and stitch. So I'll do same to this other one, and I'll go ahead and stitch it, and you will see it. Okay, so I have joined everything. Okay, so don't mind my fabric, it's just misbehaving. So this is the lining piece. You can see how relaxed it is. Okay, so you can see the lining piece, so relaxed. But I don't know, this particular fabric is just showing some imbalance, but that is not a problem. If you make this with other fabric like African print and all that, it will relax very well. So one other important thing is to give it a good press. Okay, so just iron everything, make sure you notch the inside, then smoothing out this part, just give it a good press. Okay, so like I said, don't mind it, this is just a casual corset I'm making. So maybe in our subsequent videos I'll use some other fabric like lace, African print and all that to make the corset for you. And I'll also be making other styles whereby we'll have sleeve, we'll have yoke and all that. So if you're not yet subscribed to this channel, I encourage you to do so, so that you will not miss out on any of the upcoming videos. So now let's continue. I have joined the back panel, like you can see. You can see this side and this other side. So now I would fix my zipper. So I believe you understand what I have done here. If you have followed the tutorial from the pattern drafting, you would understand how I got the back. Okay, so this is it now. So I joined it. So I decided to go this way because I want to fix the zipper. Then I will turn in the corset using the lining part, using the lining, so that you can have neat finishing inside. So what I'll do, I have my zipper here, so I would go ahead and fix the zipper. So this is how it should be. What I'll do, I'll just come up by 1/2 inch because I'll be joining the lining at the bottom part too. So I'll just come up by 1/2 inch like so. Then I'll fix my zipper. Okay, so it will go this way. This is how I'll place it. Okay, so first of all, I'll just mark out my 1 inch. So remember, I took 1 inch zipper allowance. So this is it. So that is where my zipper would lie. Okay, so that is where the zipper would be sewn, on the 1 inch zipper allowance mark. So that is where I'll sew it. Okay, so I've just made my mark, so I'll just follow it and fix my zipper. So I don't know if you can see this, but I just marked 1 inch, and that is where my zipper would come. And then, like I said, I'll come up by 1/2 inch. Okay, so it will be like so. So the teeth of my zipper will just lie on that 1 inch mark. Okay, on that 1 inch mark. So okay, so I'll pin it down. I'll pin it down. It's a very long zip, so I'll have to cut it out. I have to cut it, so I'll just pin it down like so. Then I'll go ahead and sew. So I've pinned it down, so I'll go ahead and sew. By the time I sew it, this is what it will look like on this other side. Okay, and I'll do same for this other side too. So this one will be sewn to this side. Okay, like so. So I would also mark out the 1 inch zipper allowance. Then I would use my pin to hold it, to hold the zipper there, and I'll go ahead and stitch it. So I've sewn my zipper and I've cut it out. Okay, so before cutting it out, remember you have to pull down your zipper handle so that you don't just cut it away. Okay, so this is the back, so you can see how beautiful it is and see the darts. Okay, then we'll have the front like so. So have it here. Okay, so now I would go ahead and join the lining. So you can see the kind of zipper I'm using, the type you can open up. Okay, so that is the kind of zipper that is advisable for you to use. So now I'll go ahead and sew in the lining piece to to it. So what I'll do is just to position it very well. Okay, so to go this way like so. So for it to be easy for you, you can just match, that is, so what I'll do now is just to match it up. Okay, you can just match it up and you hold it down with your pin. So just match it up and hold it down with your pin. Okay, so that is what I will do. So right now I would go ahead and sew the top. Okay, first of all I'll sew this upper part. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and sew it like this. You can see how I place this side. It will go like this. I hope you can see this. Okay, the zipper is like this, but now I open the top. I just place everything open like this. So I'll sew the top. By the time I finish sewing the top part, I will then sew this side of the zipper like this. Okay, this is so that by the time you turn it, you have it inside like so. Okay, so you just sew a little bit close to the teeth. So that is what you will do. Just sew everything. So I'll sew everything all round. I'll sew the top, I'll sew the zipper area like so. Okay, and I'll sew the down parts too all round. So by the time I'm done sewing, what I'll do is just to open up a little bit from the lining part. Okay, just anywhere at all, just open it up like about 3 inches. You open it up, then turn it out from that part, then close back. So let me just go ahead and do that so that you will see. By the time I finish joining it, you would understand. Okay, so like I said, I'll just stitch all the top, the sides, that is this zipper side like this, like so. Okay, then the down part all through. So let me just do that and you see it. So I've joined it. Okay, so I joined all around the top, that is all through the top, the sides, okay, and the down part of it. So you just try to make it as, you know, accurate as possible. Then at the lining side, I opened up a little bit from here. So this is where I'll turn it out from. Okay, so about 3 inches is okay. I don't want it too much so that I won't take a lot of time sewing it, because I will have to sew it with my hand needle, or even I can still use my sewing machine, but just make the stitch neat. So I'm just turning it out. Okay, so I'll just put my hand inside, then bring it out, that is take this other side and just carefully bring it out like so. Okay, so just carefully bring out the other side. So if you don't want to do this, you can as well hem the lower part. After joining the top and the side, you can just fold the down parts, that is folding both the lining and the main fabric together, just hemming it. Okay, so you just hem it. So now this is what I have on this side. So I will just give it a good press. Okay, I'll give it a good press, and then you will see the final look. I'm just trying to bring out everything. So you see this other side, you can see how neat it is. Okay, so the way I put it in with the lining, so this is the lining side. So I'll just bring out everything properly and iron it. So this is the side I turned out from. I'll just use my needle and thread and make a stitch. Okay, that is almost invisible, or I can just stitch on it like so with my sewing machine. So since it's the inner part, it doesn't matter, unless you're making it that you want to wear the two sides. Okay, you want to wear both the other side and the inner side, you know, reversible. You want to like make it a reversible corset top that you can wear the both sides. Then you have to carefully stitch this part for it not to show. Okay, you have to just do that carefully with your needle and thread. Okay, so there's a way to do that. So you can see what we have at the inside. You can see how neat it is. This is the zipper area. You can see how neat it is inside. So I'll just go ahead and give it a good press. So I'm just pressing it down. Okay. So for the cup side, I will use my ironing board. So I'll just place it. So in case you haven't watched the pattern drafting of this corset, I will leave the link in the description box below so that you see how we drafted the pattern. And for this cup, like I thought, there is a matter of choice. Okay, you can do it low, you can make it lower than this, you can whatever way you want it. So this one is a bit high, just to cover the whole you know, the bust. So if you want it lower, you can, I showed in the pattern drafting how to go about that. Okay, so it's a matter of choice. So however you want the cup to be is a matter of choice. Okay, so this is just showing you the basics. So, and I believe with this you should be able to sew your own corset. So this is just showing you how to go about it. Okay, so this is it. The next thing is just to embellish it. Okay, like I've said before, don't mind the fabric, it's just a naughty one, just very naughty fabric, doesn't want to stay, but that is just okay. So I'll go ahead and embellish it. So let me just zip it up so that you see what we'll have there. So I'll just zip it up. So this is the back. So you can see how beautiful it is. Okay, then the front of our corset. So right now I'll go ahead and embellish it. So when it comes to embellishing your corset, it's a matter of choice. Okay, so it's a matter of choice. You can do whatever you want. You can decide to add lace trimmings at the top like this. Okay, you can decide to do this. You can decide to just use trims to embellish your corset. Okay, so it's just a matter of choice, and even right now I don't really know which one to go with, but I think I should just have my flowers going up. That is the lace trim out there. Then I'll just add my sequence, just make it a little bit busy. Okay, just to make it a little bit busy. So because sometimes we like so much embellishments on our dresses, so just trying to arrange it to see what it will look like. So don't mind this, by the time it's worn on the body it will relax. So just trying to see. Okay, so I don't know, what do you think? Leave a comment for me in the comment section below. Okay, tell me what you think, how you like to embellish your dress or your top, whatever. Okay, so maybe I should just go with this like this and it's okay. So I'll do that. So this is what I'll be using. I'll be using B6000 glue. So I'll just apply it on my sequence. You can also use hot glue gun to do this. Okay, you can use your hot glue, okay, to do this. So I'll just apply it and gum it. You can also sew this, but I don't want to just sew it. So just place it at the center there. I'll cut out the excess. So just tell me how you see this in the comment section below. Okay, so as for this ones, I can tack it down with my needle and thread. I can as well use my gum to place it down. Okay, so that is it. So I think it's okay like this. Okay, so just keep it simple. So I think this is just okay. Okay, so let me just leave it like this. So thank you so much for watching. I would like to see your own project. I would like to see you do this. I will have a Facebook group, Fashion and Styles with MAGVIVI. Okay, so just search on Facebook for Fashion and Styles with MAGVIVI. So by the time you make yours, you can post it there for us to see. Okay, so and if you're not subscribed yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. Please hit on the subscribe button. It's free. You don't have anything to lose. Just click on the button and that is it. Okay, then you see bell beside it. Just click on the first one, which shows all notifications. Yes, what it means is that so that you get all my notifications when I upload new videos. So thank you so much for watching. God bless you, and remember, I love you all, my subscribers. I have you at heart, and whatever I'm doing here is for you. Okay, I have you at heart. Any video I am making, I have you in my mind. I try to make it clear to you. So thank you so much for watching. God bless you. Don't forget, search for Fashion and Styles with MAGVIVI on Facebook so that you join. Whenever I make anything here for you, you can try out your own and post it there for us to see and applaud you or make some corrections. Okay, so thank you so much. I cannot thank you all enough. You're just so wonderful. You're just so too much. God bless you. So see you in my next video. Bye.